There's a sleepy Gracie. Yeah. And a shit ton of laundry. I'm gonna watch Megan Lee tell us a bunch of spooky stories and just be a human and fold laundry and enjoy myself. And you're welcome to chill with me. I think it will be nice and relaxing. That's gonna be a no from me, dog. What's up, Gracie? I'm gonna fold some laundry and watch Megan Lee's channel about spooky folklore and just be a person. And you're welcome to hang out with me. That's all that's happening here. We're going to have a good Friday. Blizzardy as fuck here in the next few days. Let me go get Gracie in there. Hey, Gracie. You evil bitch. Okay. Should we do the Russian sleep experiment one first, Grace? I think so. So many blushies. What are you gonna do about it? Gracie, love the kisses. Relax. Such a good baby. Okay. Move your butt. You wanna go on the heater? Hello. Hi guys. Hello, hello. Alright, just getting set up here with the kitty cat. It's a good Halloween cat. I want to do this on Gracie. Yeah. Let's see. Move on the pile of laundry. Man, I love. Oh yeah, you want to see the kitty more? This is Gracie Lydia. She is a demon. She's a ragamuffin and she's almost 15 years old, but she's like playful as a kitten. She will bite me soon, I promise. She is a singular human being cat, and that person is not me. But I love you just as much as them. She's not having it. Look at how pissed she is. Look at that tail. Oh my god. She's so spice. You're a spice lord. That's trademarked. You're a Spice Lord. There we go, Gracie. You're the real star. With how predictably evil you are, you could totally have your own YouTube channel. Yeah. Alright, let's get this shit going. I want spooky stuff. I'm gonna be releasing a ton of folklore stuff soon, by the way. And I'm really excited about it. You guys should keep a lookout. Alright, I want to do the Russian sleep experiment because I've definitely heard of the Russian sleep experiment and watched a million videos on it already. And it's... Sorry, my stream. I have an iPhone at 12 mini and she struggles sometimes. Oh, I can't see shit. There's Gracie. There we go. Much better. Yes. Turn this up so you guys can hear it if you want to listen with me. We are not connected in any way, but I do highly recommend Megan Lee's channels. It's Beauty and Beasts is one, and that's more folkloric, and then there's Dark Asia, which is true crime. I recommend both of them. She does an excellent job. Oh, Pokemon. Oh, Valerie, that's very sweet. Thank you.
Hey, beauties and bees! Welcome back to the show.
Do I know
Today,
totally
I would like
folklore.
to start by asking
It's been a long
question.
time. I
How many
studied it
days
for
have
like
you
7
ever
years,
gone
but
without sleep?
I failed
1 day,
every time. I
2
retained a
days?
lot though.
Most of you probably found it difficult to stay awake for more than 48 hours. Your head hurts, your vision blurs, and your concentration fades. In severe cases, you might even hallucinate. But what if? What if a human being didn't sleep for 50 days? More than 2 weeks? What would happen? The story we're covering today begins with exactly that question. Today's story involved 5 men, a sealed room, and a gas that prevents sleep. An experiment proceeded without any problems for the first few days.
Oh,
but
no,
after
you
day
might see my
5,
undies.
strange
How
things
embarrassing.
began to happen. By day 9, the researchers started hearing strange sounds. And on the 15th day,
Agreed. I love learning languages. I circled back to Spanish a few years ago because I went to Cancun and I got to use it in person there, which was nice. I think I hear it better when it's natural. But right now I'm learning Japanese, and I've been doing that for a few years now, and French. It's my like a life goal to die a polyglot. There's always time for language. There's always time for knowledge.
December 1947. 2 years had passed since the end of World War II, but the world was entering an era of a new kind of war, the Cold War. The United States and the Soviet Union, 2 superpowers, began an arms race while keeping each other in check. And the most important thing in this competition was, military strength, stronger weapons, superior soldiers and armies that could fight longer. In fact, such research had already existed during the war.
As a pre-certified nerd, it is
methamphetamine to their
a
soldiers.
trippy take on Over the Garden Wall, which is my favorite show and thing of all time.
Also, that
got me through some hard times, and I
had
had like a bunch of extra eyes added to everybody, so it would kind of match up with this one,
stimulant decree sent
which was done by Jillian Freiheit out of Oakland, California. Look her up. She's a fucking genius artist.
Through the Ardennes Mountains. Allied soldiers were also known to use amphetamines in the form of benzodrine to battle combat fatigue. General Eisenhower himself ordered 500,000 Benzedrine tablets for American troops entering North Africa in 1942. So, the remarkable endurance of soldiers on both sides had a secret ingredient: performance-enhancing drugs. But the Soviets wanted to go one step further. A substance that could keep humans awake perfectly.
She never bites my face though, so that's a win.
Without addiction, so they reportedly developed a stimulant in gas form. All that remained was human experimentation, and finding test subjects was difficult. Prisoners of war, political prisoners. In that Soviet Union, at that time, their lives were essentially state property. This too reflects a dark historical reality. The Soviet state used prisoners and military personnel for testing lethal toxins and other weapons. As of 1950, there were around 700,000 participants at different levels of the Soviet nuclear program alone. Half of whom were Gulag prisoners used for radioactivity experiments and excavation.
I have a strawberry back here. It's a strawberry music note for a no longer existing music festival that used to be like a mile away from Yosemite National Park.
So this is the background of the famous
like my favorite memories in all my life are of that place. And then, okay, to be clear, it's a pentacle. A pentacle is a shape that is from ancient nature worshipping traditions, like Cernunnos, which is the green man, Mother Nature, etc. Each point on it represents a different piece of nature. So like wind, water, fire, spirit, etc. You can't see it very much, and excuse my stork bite. Yeah, pretty much. I just don't want to be incorrectly judged for the shape of it. Let me see. It's probably gonna go upside down, which will then make it look like a pentagram, but it is not. I assure you. Probably just see the bottom of it.
Introducing Chipotle's new high protein menu. It's real protein you want to eat.
It's a pentacle. At one point, I don't know, like a decade ago, I had my hair this long, and then I had like a perfect triangle at the bottom of my hairline underneath, like an undercut, totally bald, like shaved triangle, and then I got that tattooed there, and it was so sick. It was also great for like walking around, living alone in a big city, because I get catcalled as I approached men I didn't know, and then as I'd walk past them, I just like put my hair up, and then I walk past them and they see the pentacle on my head, not knowing it's a nature witch thing and thinking it's a pentagram, which is a Satanist thing. And also, like, Satanism is actually dope if you look it up. It doesn't have anything to do with literal Satan. But yeah, it would scare the shit out of them. They'd be like, I don't fuck with crazy. And I'd be like, that's right. You don't fuck with crazy. But really, I just care about the planet.
And there was
a spiritual amount. That's all it is.
For which the gas was pumped in. 5-inch thick glass windows.
Oh yeah, the Buddhist one.
So the researchers could observe the interior.
Yeah,
Microphones were also
I'm
installed.
still slowly making my way through Naruto Shippuden, and it's just so sad when like evil people ruin such eternal things, like a symbol. Because I mean, it doesn't. I wish I knew the other name for the swastika. Because I mean, it represents like the sun and the cycle of life, and like there's all kinds of really beautiful meanings behind it. And of course, it's tainted fucking forever because of stupid Nazis.
Day 2, day 3,
Sucks.
the men read books, talked to each other, and sometimes exercised. They ate well too. The researchers were satisfied.
No, I totally get it. And it's like they're all over the place in Naruto.
Far better than German methamphetamine.
Like they're in.
But on the
Don't ask me how I know. They're in Kakishi's bedroom. They're in a bunch of places.
Conversations start to shift. Stories of war, the horrific
Yeah,
experiences
actually, that's
been through.
That gives me a good idea for a video.
The tone of their
Like,
conversations grew increasingly dark.
folklore behind
Day 5,
important symbols like that, and how
strange
in modern
began
times
to
they're
happen.
manipulated
The men
and
lost
corrupted
location. Instead,
by
they began
greed
whispering
or
toward the microphones, toward the windows. That man is a
radical
liar.
bullshit.
Believe me, they are dangerous. If you just save me,
Thanks,
I'll
darling.
tell you everything.
I am from
Paranoia,
the San Francisco
suspicion,
Bay Area,
fear.
California. I haven't
They
lived
were
there
trying
in a
to
really
sell
long
each
time
other
though.
out. The researchers looked at one another. Is this because of the gas?
I'm not sure
or
if
is
you
this
can tell from
integration?
my accent.
After 5 days,
Moving across the
subjects began
country,
showing symptoms of paranoia.
I
Actually,
definitely
this
hear
was
myself
somewhat
having an
expected.
accent, and
Medically,
the
if a human
people
doesn't
here
sleep for more than 5 days,
hear my accent.
hallucinations and paranoia can begin.
And it's really kind of cool
The researchers
because
couldn't be sure whether
Bay
this
Area
was due to
accent
the
is such a
gas or
weird, like,
simply sleep
casual,
deprivation.
rough sounding
Soon,
dialect
they would
that,
realize this was not mere sleep
yeah,
deprivation.
I think people just
Day
feel more
9
comfortable
of the
with us right away
experiment,
here
it was
that are
3
like
a.m. Suddenly,
from
one of the men began to scream.
the DMV, so
He started running across the room from one end to the other, over and over, without stopping. And he kept
yeah, I'm in
screaming
the
for
DMV
3
now.
hours, screaming without rest.
Hold on,
The
I gotta show you what
researchers
Gracie is
pressed
doing
themselves
now.
against the window,
She's
watching.
apologizing for being
They
a
soon
turd.
realized that man, his vocal cords are going to tear.
Look at this good baby.
That's exactly what happened. 3 hours
Ridiculous.
later, the man's screams were no longer screams.
You are a
Strange
ridiculous creature.
sound, a squeaking noise, like the sound from a child's toy.
You have to touch my
His
hand?
vocal cords
Yes.
ruptured. But what was stranger was the reaction.
What are you doing?
They showed no reaction at all.
Crazy.
As if that man didn't
Look at all your
exist. They
paws.
simply continued whispering toward the microphones. Day 12 of the experiment. The second man also began screaming. The two who weren't screaming did something strange. They started tearing up the books in the rooms, page by page, and they smeared their own feces
Hell yeah.
on them. Then they began pasting those
Wow, I
pages
tuned back into this at the wrong time.
windows,
Just
one
in
by
time for
one,
the feces smearing.
quietly and calmly,
Yikes.
as if creating a work of art. Soon, all the windows were completely.
I'm totally 420
The
friendly.
researchers could no longer see
I
inside.
don't
And
smoke
at that very
anymore
moment,
because I don't like
screaming
how,
stopped.
I think I'm a
The
little
whispering
allergic
that
actually,
the microphone also
because it
stopped.
starts to feel like I have really bad hay
Perfect
fever.
silence enveloped the laboratory.
But like, you know,
Day
fucking smoke
14
up,
of the experiment.
microdose
The researchers
mushrooms, or
checked
take
the
a whole
microphone
bunch. I don't give a
every
shit.
hour.
This is a
Is the microphone
non-judgmental,
broken?
like,
No.
like
It's working fine.
inclusive
Then
space.
There was really no sound coming from inside, with 5 people in there. But the oxygen meter was telling a different story.
Yeah.
All 5 were alive. And no, it wasn't just that they were alive. The oxygen consumption levels showed readings consistent with intense physical exercise.
Such a
What
good
on
baby,
earth are they doing? No one could answer. Finally, the commanding officer made a decision. Turn on the intercom, but according to experimental protocol, shut up, just turn it on. The button was pressed. We are now opening the room. Step away from the door and lie face down on the floor. Otherwise, we will open fire. Those who comply will be granted immediate freedom. Silence. Long, drawn-out silence.
No,
A voice.
sorry, I am very extremely not interested in people like Joe Rogan.
We no longer
My bad. Like, you do you, but I'm not.
What did that mean?
No thanks.
Why did they say they no longer wanted freedom?
Mushrooms are cool though.
It feels like a fluffy hug.
It's kind of a teddy bear. It's a big kitty cat. A big real kitty cat.
What the puff? This thing has
Say hi, Gracie.
What the puff? Bill's puff.
She's my supervisor. I'm currently folding laundry and she's making sure I'm doing a good job. Which I'm not, because I'm very distracted.
What did you expect to happen?
DMV, so like Maryland, Virginia, DC area. I'm not gonna get more specific than that.
Your TurboTax expert can file for you, so you don't have to miss a moment. You've got better things to do than taxes. Have a local TurboTax expert file for you.
Hold on.
You're still purchasing your lenses from your optometrist?
Do I dare?
Walk with
Dare
me
what?
to
Let me go
the
back.
glory that is 1-800 contacts.
It's quick.
Affordable.
What are you daring me to do?
I can order contacts in 5 minutes and get them the next day.
Are you daring me to watch Joe Rogan? Because I'm not gonna do it. You couldn't pay me. You couldn't pay me $50 to watch Joe Rogan.
Day 15 of the experiment, midnight. Ultimately, to check the condition of the subjects directly, the researchers decided to open the door. At midnight, the researchers opened the ventilation duct. Fresh air and fluid.
Look, I'm super body positive, but
At that moment,
no thanks.
screams erupted. No,
Also, you're
gas. Turn the gas back on, please.
like I want to keep doing
Three
YouTube,
voices
so I'm
cried
not.
out desperately.
I'm not gonna do that.
Soldiers
You just showed up and are being gross,
Guys,
so I'll show you
from
my
this point
tattoo
on,
again.
The content becomes truly
There.
horrific. The floor was
That's all you get,
filled with
pervert.
blood 4 inches deep. The drain was clogged with chunks of flesh, thigh meat, and chest flesh behind.
Nothing wrong with Joe
One
Rogan.
was
I
already
just
dead. The remaining 4 were alive.
I don't like the side
But
effects of
their
his existence.
fingertips
I'll just say
were
it that way.
completely stripped down to the bone. Ribs were visible, and between them, lungs could be seen moving with each
I think he
breath.
doesn't
Their
take
abdomens
enough
were empty.
responsibility
Intestines
for
were
the effect he
spread
has
out
on his
for
audience sometimes.
infection. The most
Very much
shocking
sometimes.
thing was that their
And
digestive systems were
I just
still
don't respect that.
functioning. They had been eating their
He has a
own
very
flesh.
big
As
platform,
soldiers
and
tried to
I
drop
don't
them out,
think
the
he's helpful
subjects
enough with it.
resisted frantically. One soldier's
I try
throat
to
was torn out by
only
teeth. During the struggle,
support
one subject died from
creators
spleen
or anything
ruptures.
really that's like super
The
inclusive
remaining 3
or
were injected with
you know,
10
helping someone
times the
else.
amount of morphine
And if that
needed to bring down an elephant.
isn't the core
They
concept
fought
of what they're
to
doing, then I'm
avoid
not
falling
interested
asleep.
really.
No one could understand what had driven them into such madness to avoid sleep. Eventually, many more people were
I am
brought
wearing
in,
socks. I'm
and
wearing very
the
fuzzy
remaining
socks.
subjects were barely transported to the medical wing. When doctors prepared anesthetic gas, the subjects violently
Yeah,
refused.
that's right. Like
In the end,
the
surgery
dis
was
and
performed for 6
misinformation is just
hours
like
without
we don't need any
anesthesia.
more of that, guys.
One nurse
There's
said,
we don't need any
trembling,
more.
"That
Read
person
books, please, for the love of God.
smiled at me." But no one could give her an answer. What was happening was
Far
medically
gone. I'm not sure what that means.
When the surgery was
If you mean like
after a meeting
a
with
filthy
the commanding
liberal,
officer,
then the
or
answer
he
is
should be
yes,
taking a
absolutely. I'm
decision,
so far gone.
put them back in the laboratory.
So far gone in
With the
educating
gas,
myself about
the
the
researchers immediately connected
experiences
the
of
subjects
people
to
that aren't
imaging
like me
monitors.
to the
Upon
point where I
hearing they would
empathize
receive
and
the gas
sympathize for
again,
them
they
and work
quieted
hard to
down,
make sure that they
but
get
still
as much as I
struggled to
do
stay
out of life.
awake.
Super far
The
gone.
researchers monitored the
Watch out,
brain
guys.
waves. Normal brain death. Normal brain death. This pattern repeated. In other words, they were dying and coming back to life repeatedly. Then, before the gas was administered, one subject's eyelids closed.
I've
His
seen
head
Y-Files
fell to the
too.
bone,
I've watched
and
several
he fell
episodes of
asleep.
his, but
And his heart stopped.
I
He
can't put my
died
finger on it,
the
but there's
moment
still
he fell
something in me
asleep.
that's like,
Then the last subject
I just
screamed,
don't see enough
"Seal me in
like
now."
cited
The
resources
commanding
here
officer gave
to
an order. Seal
let
her,
myself believe
put the
any of
subject
this, you know what I
inside,
mean?
along with those 3 researchers. The faces of the designated researchers turned white as sheets. It was an insane decision. Given everything that had happened, these beings had completely lost their minds. They were like zombies. No matter that he was their superior, the researchers couldn't accept such an order. Finally,
Thank you,
one
Nexus
researcher
database.
pulled out a gun and shot the commanding officer.
I do
Then
love the
he rushed
goldfish.
into the
Like,
room and shot
literally, that's what
one
kept
more
me
subject.
watching.
In the
And then
sudden
after a while, I
chaos,
kind of caught on
others
to
began to flee.
my feelings
Now,
for
only
it,
the
and I
armed
did some research. I was like,
and the last subject remained in the room.
nah.
What are you?
But I love the goldfish. I
Shouted,
fucking, I
trembling
love it. I love a
voice.
sassy sidekick
The
that's
subject
a pet,
smiled.
like this
Have
bitch
you
right here.
already forgotten? We are you. We are the madness.
Are you a
that has been
sassy
hiding
sidekick?
inside
It's
all
just
of
a
you.
void.
The deepest animal nature
You are
that
void.
yearns to be
Baby.
liberated every moment. What you try to hide from in bed every night. What you silence
Yeah, fish is the shit.
and paralyze every time you fall asleep. Hearing those words, the researcher clenched his jaw.
I wouldn't be
and
caught
pulled
dead
the trigger.
watching or
The subject whispered one
intaking
last time.
hyper-conservative or even just
So
relatively
weirdly
conservative
free.
media
And
for fun.
that is the
I
famous
do
Russian
take
sleep
in a lot
experiment
of
story
it,
from the internet.
just because I like to have a
Is the
balanced
story
view
true?
of what's going on in the world so
Officially,
that
the
I
story is a
can,
work of fiction.
you know,
It first
make
appeared
decisions for
on the
myself of what I
creepypasta
think is right.
wiki on August
So I highly
10th,
recommend,
2010.
like, if something happens,
And this was posted
read an
by a
article
user
from
named Orange
a very
Soda,
liberal
whose real
organization
identity
and then
remains unknown.
read an
It
article
was
from a very
designed from the
conservative
start to
organization
unnerve
on the
and
same
shock
thing.
readers.
And then from there,
And it's
you can
also
decide how you
medically
feel about it.
possible. You cannot survive for days.
Highly
with your
recommend
organs
it.
removed,
That little,
and no
it's like
such
just a
gas
little
is
bit
known
more
to
effort,
exist.
and
that
honestly,
terrifying
my
image
anxiety
that
has
always
gone
accompanies
down
the story, the
so
emaciated
much
figure with
from
sunken
doing that.
eyes and maniacal grin.
Because then you know, you kind of rely on your own intuition to decide what you think is right.
Spasm.
And
The story
yeah,
and image spread together, but they have
Hecklefish,
nothing to
that's
do with
right.
each other. And there is no
Yeah,
scientific
I don't try to
ground
take in
proving
a
that
lot
any
of like
gas
for
or
funsies
substance
conservative
keeps a
stuff,
person
but
awake
like
for
if there's a
30
cute
days.
thing in
Some
it, like
drugs
fucking
and high
hecklefish,
caffeine dosages may
I'm gonna
grant
get caught up
full
in it
day
for
without
like a little
sleep.
bit. Because I
30
can't, who can
is
resist something like that?
But in fact, the actual impact of sleep deprivation is mind-boggling. And let me tell you about a real case. In 1964, a 17-year-old high school student
You guys are
named
fun.
Randy Gardner.
I hope I don't
decided to
upset
break
anybody.
the
That's never my
record
intention.
for staying awake.
But
It
if
was
you ask
supposed
me
to be a
questions, I'm
science
going to
fair
be honest.
project, just a teenager pushing the limits to see what would happen. Here's what actually happened to him. By day
Oh my
4,
god, I don't
he
think I
became
got deep
irritable
enough into the channel to
and
meet his girlfriend.
uncooperative. His memory started
Gertie.
failing him. He
Gertie the
couldn't
camel?
concentrate, and then he had his first hallucination.
I love it.
He looked at a street sign and saw a person standing there. Later that same day, he became convinced, truly believed, that he was a famous black football player. And he wasn't joking. He wasn't playing around. In his mind, that's who he was. By day 5, the hallucinations got worse. He saw a path extending from the room he was in, stretching out through a quiet forest. Forest that didn't exist. By day 9, his thoughts started falling apart. He would begin a sentence, but then just stop, unable to remember what he was
Agreed,
trying to
he is a
say.
fair but.
His mind was fragmented. And by day 10,
he is a strict lord.
paranoia set in. He became fixated on a radio show host, convinced, absolutely certain that
Yeah,
this
it's super
man was
overstimulating to
deliberately
like
trying to make him look like a fool.
have a ton of news cycle coming in at you all at once.
11 days. 11 days. And look what happened.
Yeah. And it's cool that you do that balancing too. I think if everybody did something akin to that, a lot of people would be less mad.
In 1959,
And also a lot of people would come to the
Peter
realization
Tripp
that,
decided to stay
you know,
for 8
all of
days
our
as
news
part of the
organizations,
publicity
like all of
stunt.
them,
It
not
was the
just
most
the
daring
conservative
sleep
and not just the
deprivation
liberal,
ever
everything is put through an opinionated lens now. So even if they are reporting facts, it's still through the general opinionated lens of that organization. And when you hear from both sides, you can start to really see how much that affects the way that you take in the news.
Looking back, all the things we've been through with Flora, and Blue Cross Blue Shield has
Fuck
been
yeah, Frank
there
Aguilar.
for us, allowing us to focus on what's more important.
Having Blue Cross Blue Shield gives me peace of
I'm from
mind,
California too.
knowing I'm going to be taken care of.
Oh yeah, no, totally a safe place to. I hope I didn't seem mad. It's more just being playful about it. For dinner tonight, I was going to make either Japanese curry or I was considering. I don't know. I just went grocery shopping, so they have so many options. I don't even know what to do with myself. I also might make orange
By
chicken
day
and
4,
like a
Tripp
ginger
began
sesame
experiencing
salad.
terrifying
Some
hallucinations,
shit.
imagining spiders crawling in his shoes and
I
mice
don't know that
scampering
I've
around
got
him.
perfect
After
titties. I'm
120
literally wearing
hours,
a t-shirt
he
and you
began having
can't see them right
severe
now.
hallucinations.
The fuck?
He walked into a nearby hotel room
That's a really
to
nice
shower
compliment
and change.
to
And
offer,
when he
even
opened
though
a chest
you
of
have
drawers
zero
for his
evidence
clothes, he saw flames
of what you're
shooting out
saying.
from the drawer. At first, he thought that the scientists had set the fire, trying
Dude,
to prank him.
Frank,
Then he began
totally
believing the
agree. I
scientists
miss
were in a
those days too.
conspiracy against him and wanted to frame him for a crime.
You
When
are
one
dope.
scientist, a stuffy
Fun
dresser,
fact,
came up to him, Tripp believed that the man was
until
an
I
undertaker come to bury
started
him.
dating my husband,
ran
I've
away into the
only
street.
ever been
At
with people that
times,
are
his
half
psychotic
Mexican.
symptoms were so severe that physicians
That's California
were
for
unable
you.
to test his physiological functioning.
It's
Tripp
a
also grew
type.
increasingly hostile. He became convinced that the
Half
physicians
Mexican, half
monitoring him were
Japanese. That's
conspiring
like
against him
Ryan
and would
from
experience angry
Watcher,
outbursts during
originally
which
on
he would
BuzzFeed
attack them.
Unsolved.
By day 8, Peter Tripp could
Oh,
not
sure.
differentiate between his hallucinations and delusions and reality. So he had, in fact, essentially lost his mind. He started staring at a clock, believing that he could see the face of a friend.
Oh, I'm glad
in
that
it.
Jesus loves
He
me.
came to be doubtful as to whether he was Peter Tripp or was the friend.
I think Jesus
In
was
the
so
last few
dope
hours,
because
he
he
began
was
confiding to
a
scientists that
pansexual
although everyone believed he was Peter Tripp,
revolutionary
he
who
no longer
hung out with
knew
sex
who he
workers
was.
and
When sleep
helped
deprivations
people
become
with
great
less
enough,
than himself.
the effects don't just
And I think he was
resemble
on mushrooms a lot
psychosis. They are
and gave everyone else
psychosis.
mushrooms a lot.
The human
Is my
mind
theory of
literally
like
begins to break
realistically
down. This
the
isn't
kind of
speculation. This
human he
isn't
was.
horror fiction. This is scientific fact.
He's a cool dude.
In 1997, Guinness World Records stopped monitoring sleep deprivation records entirely because of the inherent dangers. The last record holder was Robert McDonald, who went
there's this girl in
18
high
days,
school who had a
21
crush on
hours,
me
and
named
40
Monica, and I
minutes
never
without sleeping
reciprocated, and
in
now I regret it.
1986. Guinness decided this is simply too dangerous to encourage. But here's where it
I've never
gets
met a
tricky,
shitty Monica in real life.
There exists a real disease called fatal familial insomnia.
If she looks like me, tell her to say she's really
A few
pretty.
months to a few years, and there is no known cure. This disease
I'm originally from the San Francisco Bay Area in California.
resulting in panic attacks, paranoia, and phobias. This stage lasts for about 4 months.
Partially.
Then
I'm
hallucinations and panic attacks
mostly
are
English, Scott, like,
Patients
you know,
diagnosed with this
I'm a
disease
fucking white
are
American chick.
unable to sleep, which
just a whole
disrupts how
clusterfuck
their
of,
brain
like, white European
functions.
shit.
This creates
But
negative side
mostly
effects that challenge their
everything in the
overall
UK
well-being,
and
causing
French.
life-threatening symptoms. Their average onset is age 40. Death usually occurs between 6
He doesn't
to
get
36
he doesn't get
months
jealous and
from
stuff like that.
onset.
Yeah, he doesn't. It's fine.
Only
Thank you
50
for
to
being
75
respectful, though.
worldwide
That is how you give a
are
fucking
believed to
compliment to a
carry the
married
genetic
woman.
mutation that causes
Like,
this
I don't know what's so
disease.
hard
As
for
it
guys to understand
progresses,
about
patients
that.
completely stop sleeping
It's just give a little
and
preface,
enter a
little
coma-like
respect.
state that
It's so easy to
results in
not be
death.
creepy.
And there is no cure.
My
There is no
birthday
treatment.
is in
You
December.
simply cannot sleep, and then you
Oh,
die.
thank you.
And well, if you think
I'm actually
government is
not wearing
experimenting on unwilling
contacts right
subjects
now
is
like I usually
pure
do
fiction,
in my
well, you
videos,
gotta
so
listen to this.
they're
The
probably a
Russian
little
state
lighter green
experiment
than
is
anyone
fiction,
who
but Soviet
subscribes to my
sleep
channel
deprivation torture
knows.
was very real.
Life
They
is not
called
good
it
for it, but
conveyor.
I promise they're
Henchmen
green.
called it conveyor when a prisoner was interrogated nonstop for a week or 10 days without a wink of sleep. At the end, the victim would sign any confession without
Hello.
understanding what he was doing.
Flea
The
boy
method was
raspy.
brutally simple. Prisoners were interrogated all
Why does that
night, and
remind me of
afterward forbidden to
Rasputin
sleep
for some
during
reason?
the day. And
Is that
interrogators
like
would
a
insist
silly reference
they
to him?
rest, but the prisoner could not.
Am I
At
black?
Zookovica prison, known as the
Well, a
torture
lot of
shop,
Americans
sleep deprivation
and
could
like
go on for 10 to
white
20
Americans,
days.
for obvious
What happens
horrible
to a
historical
human
reasons,
mind
do have
after
like a
that
percentage
long
of black in
without
them.
sleep? Russian
My
writer
parents did like a
Solzhenitsyn
23andMe or
wrote,
some shit,
"Sleeplessness
and
befogs reason, undermines the
actually
will,
over here somewhere
and the
close,
human being
there's a whole
ceases
family
to
of
himself."
Poes that were related to, and they're like completely
Future
black.
Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin, who survived
Damn,
Soviet
I should hit them up.
imprisonment,
I
described
haven't
it
gone
like
to see them
this.
yet.
And the head of the interrogated
They're straight up in
prisoner,
Baltimore.
a haze begins to form. His spirit is
Hi.
weary to death.
I cannot
Anyone
send
who's
you money
experienced
because
this
I also
desire
don't have any. I'm
knows
so
that
sorry.
not even hunger or thirst are comparable with it. I came across prisoners who signed what they were ordered to sign, only to get
Oh,
what the
that's
interrogator
right.
promised.
I've only seen the original Tron, like the 80s one,
He
and that
promised
was
them
like
that
easily
they
15
signed
years ago, but
uninterrupted
I remember
sleep.
them fondly.
They didn't confess for freedom. They confessed for sleep.
Oh, sick. Love me a raspy voice.
Another survivor described the
I do not
end
have a
results.
single
After
sister. I'm so
50
sorry.
or
I
60
have a
interrogations
married
with
brother
cold
who's only
and
18 months
hunger
younger
and
than me,
almost no
and he
sleep,
definitely got all the good
the
looks in
man
our
becomes
family,
like an
bastard.
automaton. His eyes are bright, his legs
Sativa or
swollen,
indica?
his hands trembling. At this stage,
Probably
he is often
indica
convinced he is
because
guilty.
ADD makes weed work backwards on me, so I like what sativas are supposed to do, and in order to get that feeling, I have to smoke indica. Crazy, right?
Generals would forget themselves and start crying for their mothers. General Sidyakin
Not sure what that
lost his mind and
means
howled
about dating a few
himself
girls like
like a
me,
dog.
but cool.
This
You have good taste.
We've been following their story for years.
I do have a single cousin. She has
Recharged by
2 kids, if that's cool though.
fatigue fighting for
And honestly, way prettier than me.
Vimergy. We can save ourselves at
You
Vimergy.com.
talking to yourself?
No.
New Planet Fitness is now
You can say hi, I'm doing a live.
Join for $1 down, $15 off. We're talking clean and spacious. Join today. Now open in Upper Marlboro.
Wait, Pete. Some guy was like, I really hope your husband doesn't get like jealous or anything about this, but you're very pretty. That is so sweet.
Nice, got good taste.
Right? That's what I said. See, not jealous.
Matching sets give you versatility to create infinite outfits, and layering maximizes every look.
I don't live by Anaheim. I have a married cousin out there and that lives like in Orange, I believe. She grew up in Brea, but yeah, she's married and just had her first kid. Her personality is like twice as big as mine though, so look out. Oh, baby on Lacey.
My custom formula is moisturizing enough to bring out my volume and texture.
Frankstar! Hi, baby! I love you.
For wavy hair. Once I started using Pros, my hair completely transformed and my waves came to life. I'm so glad I started embracing my texture and giving my hair
Threesome? Question mark?
Well,
No.
right now.
Thanks though.
Thank you.
Not that I like am not into that kind of stuff. I just, you
This
know,
wasn't fiction. This was
like
policy.
people I
The
meet
use of torture
face to
was
face.
authorized by the
And
Central
that's not
Committee
gonna
of the Communist
happen
Party
with someone I
and
see on a
personally
live.
by Joseph Stalin.
Brea is a nice area I used to live in. Oh,
So,
nice.
the Russian sleep
Cucamonga.
experiment is fiction.
Yeah,
A creepypasta.
I was really close
an
with
intriguing
that
story.
cousin because she
Why
was
did so many
born
people
9
believe
hours
it?
before
Why
me.
does the story
And like I
still
was the
circulate
NorCal
from
cousin and she was the
Tuesday?
SoCal cousin,
Perhaps
and we
it's
saw each
because
other a
we
lot
all
growing
sense
up.
the truth
And our
of
parents
reality
definitely like
and
pitted
fiction.
us against each other in like a weird rivalry kind of way because we both sing and like act and shit. Yeah, we hated each other for a while, but now we love each other a lot because we caught on to their bullshit. I do not want to meet you in person. I'm sorry. It's not personal. It's a safety thing, and if you were anybody else on the planet, I would say the same thing. Oh, thank you, Christopher Clark. Are you gay, and why are your eyelashes so big? I'm partially gay. I'm very, very pansexual. As is my husband. My eyelashes are so big because they are not real. I put them on with glue this morning, as all women with big eyelashes like this do.
Just for the chance to close their eyes. So, yeah,
It's really stuck. I know, right? It's the fucking California accent, I swear.
And at the same time, I can't help but wonder, what if
Yeah,
there really
weird, right?
is something
It's so weird where those
science,
little pockets of like
something
California
that
Republicans
only
pop up.
emerges when we're deprived of
It's
sleep,
like sometimes it's
something
because
our
there's a lot of money
conscious
there,
mind
and then other
keeps
times it's
locked
just
away
like in the
every
boonies,
night.
and it's like,
Okay, that's a wrap for
where is the
today.
disconnect
I hope
here,
you guys
you know?
sleep well. See you guys in our next episode, and bye.
Gracie left us. She'll probably be back though. Oh, I'm gonna use my new shirt folder.
Hey everyone, everyone, welcome back to Beauty and the Beast, where we dive into some chilling stories
Hi, Megan.
while I do my skincare routine. I want to know, like, have you ever done something
You guys ever seen this
a
shit?
little crazy? Something
Like, you ever work at
more
Target
spooky,
or like
a
in,
ritual to summon ghosts?
you know, like retail or
If you
anything?
ever did, you're crazy.
It's a
Like,
shirt
drop a comment
folder.
and tell me all about it because I need to know. Personally,
Let's try it out.
I am all about hearing spooky stories. I love hearing ghost stories.
This is my
But actually summoning one,
D20 fucking
whether it's real or not, that's a lie.
Misfits and Magic
I'm not crossing. It's too
Dropout
dangerous,
TV
and it's too
shirt
risky.
that my
I
husband
don't
got
know about
me
you,
for
but I'm
Christmas or my
definitely not
birthday. I
about
don't
to
remember.
invite
They're
any
very close
spirits
together.
into my home. Like, no thanks. So let's settle in for today's tale because it's exactly about that. It's one that involves a dangerous ritual and the terrifying consequences that followed. So,
Can I do it backwards?
you ready? Let's
no,
get right into it.
Perfect. It's not. It was really bad.
One bag, infinite possibilities. Kate Spade.
It's supposed to be like this. Maybe? If you don't find me interesting, that's fine. I'm sure you're way more interesting than
When I
me.
had my breast cancer diagnosis, I was really concerned about what's
Oh,
gonna
thanks. I love you
happen
too.
with Blue Cross Blue Shield. They took the bulk of paying for these MRIs.
Oh, surprise. The guy with an American flag that's huge behind him in his profile picture says, easy dislike and not recommend. You're not that interesting. Yon yon. You're the exact kind of person I would want to say that. Thank you. You made my day.
This story, my friends, was submitted by
She's such a hot goth mommy. Like, Jesus Christ.
Kim,
I love her.
and he was an accountant living abroad. And this man also ran a YouTube channel. Everything was fine until he did something for the sake of views, something he now deeply regrets. What followed was
This one
a
was better.
series of eerie, spine-chilling events. Putin started his YouTube channel 5 years ago, right when he landed his first job in Malaysia. So he's a Korean
I
guy.
won't be your goth
He
mommy,
went to
but I'll be a
Malaysia
goth mommy,
for his
just
new
in
job.
general.
So on his first
I don't
YouTube
have kids,
video,
but,
he was like,
you know,
"Hey,
you get the vibe.
everyone,
I'm very
welcome to
nurturing.
Kuala Lumpur, the capital of Malaysia.
Oh,
I'll be sharing my life here with you through my video, so
that
let's
I'm
have
watching
fun
on
together.
YouTube right now
Don't forget
is
to like,
Megan Lee.
subscribe, and hit that notification bell. So he thought
She
running
does,
the
she has two
YouTube
channels,
would
Beauty and
help ease
Beasts,
the
which
loneliness
is
of
like
living in a foreign
folkloric
country.
horror stuff and like cryptids and
if
shit.
all went
And
well,
then
it
her
could
other
even
older
bring
channel is
extra
Dark
income.
Asia, which
So
is all like Asian
it sounded
themed,
perfect. So his very
or
first
like
video
Asian
was a virtual
ethnicities
tour of his
occurring
home in Malaysia.
true crime. It's very
He was like,
fascinating. And
this
with
is my place.
she's
And
does,
he
like,
started talking about
every kind of
the
Asia
location and the
location
features of his place.
in culture for these videos, so it's like I learn a lot
He
about other places in the world
started getting
too.
a tour of his
I feel like
apartment.
there's so much to learn
So he
about
told
a
his
place
viewers
by
that his apartment
what their
is the last few
folklore
minutes
says,
at the end of the
and then
hallway,
maybe
and it
more
was in a
so about
super quiet
modern life
place.
by
He
what
showed
kind
his
of crimes
viewers
happen
that his
there.
house was right next to the emergency exit.
Yeah, I highly recommend her.
And it was the perfect size, got plenty of sunlight.
Oh my god,
and it was
you mean
south-facing.
Winona Ryder?
So the location was excellent, and rent was affordable, and the place was just right for a single person. After
I'm
uploading
switched.
the video, he proudly showed it to his Korean colleagues at work. He
Yeah, Megan
even
Lee.
asked them to check
Megan
the video out
Lee,
to help
L-E-E.
boost his views. So I think
And I'm pretty
he
sure
was
she's
a
a
pretty
polyglot
outgoing
too.
guy. He
Sometimes she
constantly talked about
mispronounces
his video to everyone.
English words
I
like
don't know,
very
honestly, I get
phonetically.
too embarrassed to have my friends watch my videos, but I guess not Tojin. And one of his coworkers
And I've heard her speak
finally watched the
Korean
video,
and
after watching
Chinese
the
and
video,
Japanese.
the friend said
Yeah,
in a strange
she's a very
tone,
cool lady.
"Hey, Tojin, I have to tell you something."
Yeah, I really
And he
recommend her. I
hesitated,
like,
looking
and she
uneasy
comes out
before
with
saying,
a video
"Is
almost
your
every day,
place at the
like
end of the
several times a
hallway,
week. So the
like
content
near
is
the
always
emergency
flowing from her.
stairs?" And Tojin said, "Yes, like obviously." and he asked why.
Short hair girls are
And
not
then
bad.
the coworker asked, "Can't you
Cool.
move out of that place
I'm
like
glad
right
you
now?"
feel that way.
And Putin was so confused because he just moved in to that new place. So he asked him why, like what's wrong? And this friend hesitated. He seemed so anxious, but he eventually said, "No, like don't worry about it. Just never mind. Forget I said anything. It's probably nothing." And this,
7217,
apparently,
I'm like not in that kind of place mood-wise right now, so I don't have an answer for you because I'm a
It was
switch.
because the emergency stairwell was busy with people passing by. The story goes that once you're in,
Hey, sorry
Momo will
guys,
start
my
giving you these terrifying challenges.
my
getting more
phone should
dangerous
have
each
died.
time. Some
My bad.
supposedly urging people to harm themselves. The fear around this spread fast and had people absolutely hooked on
is
this mystery. And now let's talk about Momo's face.
Not
Because
great angle for me,
honestly, it's
that's
something
fine.
of a nightmare. She has got these huge eyes and a mouth that's stretched into this
hate it.
supernatural,
Terrifying.
wide grin.
This is the stuff of fucking
The image
nightmares.
actually came from a sculpture by a Japanese artist named Keisuke Aiso, and it was called Mother Bird.
I think the Mother
But
Bird
somehow this
sculpture
innocent
looks
sculpture
like
morphed into the Momo
a
ghost that
horrifying
went viral
modern
and became
rendition
full-on urban
of
legend. But even though experts and media
think
have
it's
debunked the
Sirens?
challenge as a
Heartbeat.
hoax,
Have a
the
heartbeat.
image of Momo haunted the minds of kids and teens, sparking a
Well, I
major
guess also
scare among parents and
Sirens.
teachers.
The bird
At
feet.
that time, contacting the Momo ghost became a trend online. And that is when Tojin saw his opportunity.
Yeah.
He figured that recording
It's
a
a
video of
haunted
himself
object. I fucking hate
calling
it.
Momo would skyrocket his views.
Well, Matthew,
Like,
I am
sure
watching
hit, right? It was dark at night.
an episode
He started filming
of
the video.
Beauty and Beasts,
He
which is
hit the
when
record
this hot
button,
goth
and
mommy
he went on
named
today.
Megan Lee
I'm going to do
just like
something real
teaches us
wild.
about
I'm
different
calling the Momo
horrors
ghost.
and like
Let's see if she picks up the phone.
folklore really,
Wish me
and like
luck.
cryptids
And
and
he
shit from
started
all
calling
around
a certain
every part of
number.
Asia. It's very fun.
Here's
And then
when
she has
things get
another
strange.
channel that's true
Someone
crime that's
actually
called Dark
answered.
Asia.
I don't know. Was it really
Highly
Momo?
recommend her.
Who knows?
She's
But the voice
her
on the
voice
other
is
end
very
eerie, and it was unrecognizable.
the first like 30 seconds I hated her voice and I listened longer and now I like hear it in my head all the time. I love her voice so much.
Like 560,000 views and over 6,000 likes. People were stunned. Their reactions flooded in. Like whether the call was real or just a prank, it didn't matter. Tojin had struck gold. But success can blind you. Like once you've tasted that kind of viral fame, you start wanting more. Like something scarier, bigger, and more intense. So Tojin thought, why not just go all the way? Like what if I capture real ghosts next? And after some thought, he landed on an idea.
Yeah, she does have like a very ASMR voice. I'll watch these like in bed or before bed. Even though they're almost all scary stories, like they still really
playing hide and seek with a ghost alone is just already risky.
She does have a really meditative sounding voice.
Planned to do it during the ghost month on the most haunted day, July 1st, the day when the gates of the afterlife are believed to open in parts of Southeast Asia, including Malaysia. In these regions, such as Malaysia, Singapore, Taiwan, China, people believe that
Oh,
from
nice.
July
Ghost
1st
Adventures?
to
That's so
July
funny. I was just gonna
15th,
ask you guys.
spirits
Me
roam
and
the
my
earth.
friend
It's the
Allie
ghost
are
month,
really into
and
like
during
ghost
this
shit and ghost
time,
hunting.
restless souls wander in search of offerings.
I'm much more
sometimes
skeptical
even
than she
demanding
is,
tributes
but I want
in
to be
exchange
proven
for
wrong. Like I
blessings.
want ghosts to be real, so I'm
Tojin,
still
he
really
was
into
up
it.
to fate. He chose that very day,
You know, and I can have
July
suspended
1st,
disbelief
to
just
film
long enough to
his
have a good
one-man
time and then
hide-and-seek
analyze it later.
video. But
If
instead of
we
the
did
traditional
like a
doll
mini
that's
series
used in
of
these games,
us ghost
he wanted to
hunting
use something
in spooky
more
places around the
live,
country,
a
how
ratchet
into that would
again.
y'all be?
He walked into his apartment, camera rolling, and placed a raw chicken.
Also, like,
on the
I'm
floor.
the
So
neo-pagan,
viewers
like,
are
scientific
going to play hide and
person,
seek
and she
with
is the
this,
lifelong
showing the chicken
Christian,
to the viewers. And so Putin
like,
began
heaven and
the
hell
one-man
religious person.
hide-and-seek
So,
ritual.
you know, we'd have that
nice camaraderie, but also, you know, a little bit of butting heads in just a tasteful way. Hi, Jerry. Right? Well, I mean, you look at such a great example like Ryan and Shane on Watcher, originally doing, you know, BuzzFeed Unsolved. Yeah, and like Shane is the total, I don't believe in shit, this is all bullshit, and Ryan is really into it. Yeah, but it would be like a little less severe because we both are interested in it, and I'm open-minded. I think part of my spirituality as a neo-pagan is that I find nature very spiritual, but I love science as well, especially like any form of life science. But even outside of that, like quantum theory and astronomy, etc. And I feel like all magic or perceived magic is just science we haven't figured out yet. And I think that maybe with very real experiences concerning ghosts, that maybe it is a warp or a wrinkle in literally the quantum fabric of the universe, where it's just bunched in on itself. So it's not that it's like some dead person or whatever, it's just like they're from another time and their silhouette is like caught in our time as it, like, you know what I'm saying, literally different dimension.
Following the precise instructions, he clipped
that would be cool. And like, I would love for him to go because he's also really good friends with her. It would be such a blast.
Into the raw chicken's belly and suited shut.
Yes, science is the magic of knowledge, 100%. When you think about it, most things that were considered magic throughout human history are now just, you know, scientifically explainable. Like, yes, they were real things, but not in the way that we previously thought, you know?
The next seeker is Momo. He considered this whole thing as some kind of a joke, but at the same time, he was also terrified.
Yeah, everything is connected.
So he quickly filled his mouth with salt water.
I mean, obviously, right?
This water would protect
all
him
of us and all that bullshit is all on one
in cultures,
tiny fucking blue dot in space.
Protection against evil, a symbol of purity and safety. And salt water specifically had long been believed to keep malicious spirits at bay. And Tujin was relying on this ancient belief as he hurried to hide in a room. And his heart was pounding in his chest. So he was there, sitting behind the door. Every possible thought ran through his mind. But what if nothing happens? Should I just stop? Or what if something really does happen? He was torn between disbelief and fear. But even if it wasn't a ghost, he thought if something, like anything, fell or moved, the video would turn green.
Yeah, all the BS. It's connected.
For a long time,
Hell yeah, dude.
There was nothing. Nothing happened. The house was silent. And the silence was unnerving. As nothing was happening, he thought about giving up. But after all that effort, the raw chicken, he couldn't just quit now. Just 30 more minutes.
He works in politics,
so
and
in the stillness of the dark,
I am a writer.
And waited.
He was a teacher, actually, before we moved out here. When we were still living in California, he was a teacher.
Like, there was a strange noise outside the room.
I was working in, not computers, but in engineering. I was a mechanical technician and like building robots and shit in Silicon Valley. But now I'm pretty much a housewife, even though I put in like 80 hours a week for YouTube, and also I run a nonprofit that I made that's very small. Neither of those things make money, so, you know, it's just effort and no reward. But I love it, and I think it's important, so it's fine. He's very supportive.
and his voice tried to sound bold, but obviously his fear
I've
was
had
palpable.
a very chemically unbalanced life, and I am happier than I've ever been the last few years, and he just wants to do whatever he can to maintain that.
He felt kind of relieved until
Fuck yeah,
his
Frank.
feet. Something cold and wet soaked through his socks. He looked down and saw the once clean and dry floors now flooded with water. And scattered across the floor were spoons and chopsticks thrown all around the kitchen floor. Fear just crawled up his spine, and a heavy sense of dread settled in, like he was panicking. Tojin hurried to clean up. He was desperate to end the ritual. He couldn't shake the feeling that something had gone terribly wrong. And that day marked the beginning of a series of
y'all have any cons coming up?
and unexplained events.
We have
For
Awesome
his
Con
YouTube,
coming
he
up
captured
in
everything on camera. So I'll show you the real footage he shared.
March?
He showed his viewers.
I'm very
the
excited
once
about it.
viral
I'm gonna dress up as like a
slaughtered
super
black.
deep cut
So he
Naruto
told
character,
viewers that he woke up one morning and
Hanare,
the whole place was covered
and
in
my
thick
husband is always just going to be
black
Kakashi because
But
he
at
makes
first
a
he
great
thought it
fucking
could be the
Kakashi.
humidity
If you don't
because
believe
it
me,
was just
go and look at the
unforced
fucking
sadness.
videos I posted about it.
So he turned
It's
on the air
amazing.
conditioner.
I think it was
to
only like a
dry
year
out the
ago that he
place.
did that for
But
the first
then,
time.
out of nowhere, sharp
Yeah, it's
ice
gonna be really
shards
fun.
fell from the air conditioner with a crash, and he was like, "What?"
Yeah,
the
she's a
hell?
really good
And this
storyteller.
was not it.
She's like my
Weird
favorite.
Things just kept happening in this house, small at first, but they kept getting worse.
Can you
The
guys
air
hear
in the
her
place grew
through the
heavier,
phone okay, or is it just like a pain in the
like
ass?
something was seeping in from somewhere unknown. It wasn't long before he started noticing patches of mold creeping up the walls, and at first it was just in small spots, but soon they spread, covering more and more of his home.
Dude, this straight up just
So the
sounds
once
like
clean,
a fucking
dry
Junji
walls
Ito
were now
manga.
overtaken by this damp, unsettling
Okay,
growth.
cool.
And no matter how much he tried to clean or fix it, it only got worse. It was like the house itself was rotting from the inside out. On October 3rd, Tojin decided to do
Well,
live
if a house
stream.
rots, that's
Something
usually
he
how it
hadn't done in a
happens.
while. He wanted to tell his viewers about the strange things happening in his
Hi,
apartment
Stella.
and how he had finally put up the place for sale, desperate to get out. And as he was chatting away with his audience, suddenly the room went pitch black. And he was like, "What the hell? Is it a blackout?" So he quickly ran to the balcony, expecting to see the entire neighborhood plunged into darkness. But no.
Put what on?
All the other apartments
Put them
were
on.
fine. Like, only
All of my
his
clothes?
home
You want me to put on
was
all the
swallowed
clothes?
by
Like in that episode of
shadows.
Friends,
He
where Joey gets mad and
panicked
puts on
and
all of
rushed
Chandler's
straight for the
clothes.
box and flipped the
I'm not gonna
sofa.
do that. Also, I know that's not what you're trying to
The
say.
lights wouldn't come back. And then he grabbed his phone, frantically trying to call the security office, but his phone just displayed no signal over and over again. No matter what he did, he just couldn't get through.
Oh, that's a very satisfying mask peel.
Yeah, so during the folklore channel videos, she does her makeup or takes it off and does skincare. And then during her Dark Asia videos, she's wearing the makeup that she either put on during these episodes or takes off for these episodes. It's very cool. Arman, hey, I'm doing good, thanks. Stella, we are watching Megan Lee, Beauty and Beasts, on YouTube. She has 2 channels. I highly recommend them. They're both darker themed. One's Dark Asia, which is true crime, and the one we're watching right now, because it's more my kind of brand, is yeah, the Beauty and Beasts one, which goes over Asian cryptids and folklore and stuff. And she branches out into some like more European or American things sometimes, but it's mostly like Asian content, and I like to learn about it. Yeah, it's very cool. Also, she's just like such a hot goth mommy. And literally, she had a son like a year ago, I think, maybe a little more than a year ago. Yeah, she's fabulous.
And at this point, he was terrified. He started shouting, "Help me, someone, please help, help!" And his voice cracked with terror. And before he could stop
Hello,
himself,
Elijah.
he collapsed, passing out cold. He didn't know how much time had passed when he finally came back to his senses, but he felt that something was wrong. He couldn't move. His body was paralyzed, pinned down
Let's
as if
get
by
you
some invisible force.
another TV
No matter
smart,
how
but
much
you can
he
see it a little
willed
better.
himself to, his limbs
My day is going
budge.
very well.
And then, from his
Oh my
stomach,
god, Hawaiian poke.
he heard something
Stop.
like a strange noise. So
Dude,
he
it has
said to
been so
himself,
long since I've
"What
had
is
that dish.
And summoning all his strength, he managed to lift his head just enough to see. And there, sitting right beside him,
In the
was
East
a
Bay,
woman
California,
with long black hair.
there's this
Her
restaurant called
face
Madfish, or
and
Little
as
Madfish,
she
that's like a sushi
gnawed
place.
at his belly,
It was really cheap,
she was ripping
and
through his belly,
they had the
and
best
his
fucking
eating
poke
his
seaweed salad. It was
And
so
the
good.
person's
It was
mind
perfectly spicy,
went
just the
blank
best.
with terror. I guess it was a dream, but what
I know,
was that
right?
thing? Like when he shared
So
his
good.
story with the locals,
We
they
are watching
speculated it might have been
Megan
a
Lee, and this
pontianak.
channel is
The
Beauty and
pontianak is
Beasts,
one of
and it's
Southeast
where she does
Asia's most feared
skincare and
spirits.
is a hot goth
A
mommy,
female
and
ghost
then
known
tells
for
us
her
stories
vengeful
about
nature and
folklore
terrifying
or
appearance. She is said to
spooky
be the
stories,
spirit of a
everything
woman
from like
who died during childbirth.
creepypasta, modern
And she
shit, to
returns
like
to torment the
ancient
living.
folklore,
The
cryptids
pontianak
and shit.
usually
It's
appears
very fun.
as a beautiful woman with long, flowing black hair, luring in her victims. But when she seeks revenge, her form changes. Her sharp teeth and claws are revealed, and she transforms into something far more monstrous. They say that when she's near, you can smell the strong scent of jasmine, or hear the distant cries of a baby.
I love this
It's said
because
that she
jasmine
attacks
is one
her
of my
victims,
favorite
ripping at their
scents of all
organs or
time.
drinking their blood. Men are often her primary targets, but she has been known to go after women and children as well. I think it's similar to the virgin ghost, Cheonyeok-gushin, in Korea, with the same signature long black hair, attacking mainly men. And isn't it wild how these spirits cross cultures just to remind men, like, if you mess with women, you're not off the hook. Not in life,
Like
not in
akin to
death.
La Llorona
Anyways,
and
the next morning,
A Woman in
Toji was
White,
still
etc., etc.
unconscious when one of his friends came by and started banging on the door. When Toji finally woke up, the first
Yeah, I
thing he
love
did
Japanese,
was check his stomach.
jasmine
And of
rice.
course,
So
to his
good.
relief, his skin was intact. No cuts, no wounds. Everything was normal, at least on the outside. So, breathing a sigh of relief, he opened the door, where his friend stood shocked. And he asked Tojin, "Are you okay? Like, you look terrible." And Tojin told everything that had happened. After listening to all this, his
Hey,
friend,
Frank, what
visibly
color are your
shocked,
eyes?
said, "I know a shaman who's really good at this kind of thing, so let me bring her over." So he brought
I have
the
a
shaman
reason to
his
ask him.
house,
I promise.
and when the shaman arrived, she stepped into the apartment, scanning the room with her eyes. As the shaman looked around, her face turned pale. She told him that this place, this house, is filled with an evil presence. There are just too many spirits here, countless malevolent ghosts. The shaman explained that Tojin's apartment had become a ghost den, like infested with vengeful spirits. She told Tojin that if he didn't get out of that place, it was only a matter of time before one of them actually hurt him. And Tojin, still shaken from the events that unfolded, asked the shaman if all this was because of the one-man hide-and-seek he did months ago. And after listening to what he did, the shaman's expression darkened. And she told him,
I was curious just
"You
because I had a really
performed
good friend
summoning ritual
in like, I don't know how
in
old you
this
are, but I'm
house."
old as shit.
And she
And
shook
I had a
her
really
head.
good friend
Then
in
she pointed
like
towards the
2013,
emergency stairs
um,
just outside
who's also
Tojin's
named Frank
apartment.
Aguilar,
And the shaman
and he
told
had
him,
blue eyes. So I was just
"You
curious
don't
if
see
you
it, do
happen
you?
to also be that
That is the
person
passage
from like
for
another
spirits."
lifetime ago.
Tojin didn't know what she was talking about. He had no idea, but In Malaysia, it's long been believed that emergency stairwells are ghostly passageways, channels through which
You're
spirits
very
don't
nice.
go. And his apartment, located right next to one, was in the thick of it. And after hearing that his house has become a ghost den, and after experiencing all that strange things, he was desperate. So Tojin begged the shaman to rid the house of the spirits that had attached themselves to the place. So he pleaded for the nightmare to end. The shaman agreed to perform an exorcism, a ritual
How old do you think I
to
am?
seal the gateway temporarily. But even as the shaman began the rites, she warned Tojin that this is only a temporary fix. And she told him that he must leave this house as soon as possible. After the exorcism, Tojin scattered red beans and salt
I feel the same way,
throughout his
Frank.
apartment,
Like,
ancient symbols of protection, hoping it would be
yeah.
enough to keep the spirits at bay. But
Gen Z is
no
super
matter what
mean
he
about
tried,
it.
it wasn't enough.
But,
the house still felt heavy. In the end, there was no
also,
choice
like,
but to move
30
out.
is like
He
the
left
new
that apartment
18.
behind, and as 5 years
So,
passed, he
like, I don't
often
give a
wondered
shit.
what
You know?
happened to those spirits. Like, are they
And I
still
genuinely
there,
look the same that I did when I was like 17 years old, so who fucking cares?
And sometimes, when the nights are still and quiet, he can't help but imagine those spirits
23, 24.
waiting, watching
Wow.
for the next soul.
That's very nice of you.
All right, my friends, that's the end of today's spooky tale.
I am
hope
really
you
glad I'm
enjoyed the
not that age
story,
anymore.
But more importantly,
Just because I had some life
please
stuff to get
don't
through,
go
you know?
messing with spirits or trying anything dangerous like summoning ghosts. Please don't. It's just not worth the risk, trust me.
Don't summon ghosts,
And,
guys.
Hey, if you're ever on the lookout for a new place to live, take a lesson from the story. Always be mindful of where it's located.
Or
Ask
if you
around,
want to
talk to
buy or
people,
rent a
and
very
take their
cheap
advice
house in
seriously.
Japan,
And remember,
there's
if the
a
rent is
word
too
for it.
cheap,
I can't
there's
remember for
probably
the
a
life
reason
of me
for
right
that.
now. But
Thank
literally,
you so much for hanging out with me tonight. Stay safe. Stay
houses
glowing,
that someone
and
just
I'll
died
see you
in,
the next episode of Beauty and the
when you're the
Beast.
first tenant of that house after someone died in it, they're called, like, I'm pretty sure it's just ghost house, except in Japanese, and I can't remember what the phrase is. But anyway, yeah, you can save a ton of money in Japan if you, like, rent a house that had someone die in it.
Affordable.
Easy to use. I can order contacts in 5 minutes and get them
That's
the
okay,
next
Stella.
day.
Thanks for stopping by.
Wow. It's like a box.
You have
with
a
key
wonderful day,
that
too.
Shows up in your mailbox. 1-800-CONTACTS.
Yeah. I was just thinking yesterday how, like, I had a friend in high school who had her son when she was 15, 16. And I was just thinking about how that kid is like, is he alpha or Gen Z? Holy shit.
Hey beauties, it's story time. And as usual, let's take a moment
37
to
in March.
relax
Happy
and
almost
take
birthday.
care of ourselves. I know today might have been rough for you guys, so let's just wind down together. I want you to grab your tea, get cozy, and let me tell you another spooky story. Today, we're going to talk about a game. Have you ever played hide and seek? Fun,
You stay safe
right?
too, babe.
When you're a kid. But what if you played alone? In Japan, there's a ritual called Hitori Kakurenbo, which translates to hide and seek alone. And they say
This one's
once
really
you
good.
start this game, you're not playing by yourself anymore. You're playing with something else. So tonight, I'm going to share a terrifying story of one girl who actually tried it.
It's very sweet of you.
Barely
Thank you, Victor.
made it out alive. Let's begin.
We are all children of this earth.
Hitori Kakurenbo, again, in English, means hide and seek alone, which is already creepy, right? On the surface, it looks like a silly little game. But the deeper you go, the more it feels like a curse. So this weird ritual first surfaced online in the early 2000s on Japanese forums like 2chan, where people swap
Fucking
ghost stories.
2chan.
But it didn't come out of nowhere. Its ingredients are stitched together from centuries of Japanese folklore. And that's what makes it terrifying, because every part of it means something. So this game begins with a doll. And in Japan, dolls aren't just toys. They're seen as yorisho, vessels that can attract or even house spirits. You cut the doll open, pull out its cotton stuffing, and replace it with rice. And rice here isn't random. It represents flesh, the living body. So this ingredient makes the doll more human and more appetizing to whatever might want to enter it. And then comes the part that kind of makes your skin crawl. You have to put a piece of yourself inside the doll. For example, like a clipping from your nails, a strand of your hair. And that is the tether. That is the moment the doll stops being just a vessel and
Thank you,
becomes
Mama. That's
another
nice.
version of you. And after putting that all inside, you have to stitch it back
Venezuela.
up with red thread. And red isn't
¿Cómo
chosen by
estás, mi amor?
accident. It represents blood vessels,
¿Qué tal?
binding, sealing. So it's almost like you're locking something alive inside the doll. And you don't cut the thread. You have to wrap the leftover string around the doll, as if you've tied its body closed. And at exactly 3 a.m., the hour when the veil between our world and the other is paper thin, the game begins. The doll is submerged in water because water is seen as a bridge between realms. And the TV is left on static, which is seen as a kind of window, a sensor for the presence that's about to come. And you have to whisper 3 times. The first seeker is me.
Yeah, right. Some voodoo shit for sure.
We stay calm. Only pay for what you need. Liberty, 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 liberty.
Look at my cute, minuscule Vaseline.
Pampers is working hard, keeping him dry. Only Pampers Swaddlers has a Keep Dry liner to keep him comfortably dry. Pampers, behind every baby.
Now it's your turn to
So
buy
cold, my
and
skin
save
gets
more.
so dry.
Get the deals you wanted. Yes, JCPenney.
Can someone please pass the top?
Sam, I got you. This one's going long. Somebody, catch!
Discover Pureology as you hydrate, glow catch your oil. Experience
Fuck off,
intense,
just give me creepy
gentle
shit.
From there, the rules sound simple. Hide, keep the salt water in your mouth to protect yourself, and when you're ready to end it, you have to spit that water onto the doll. Salt has always been sacred in Japan, used to purify shrines, graves, and even sumo rings. So that salt is the one defense you have to drive the spirit out, if you can make it that far. But people who've tried say it never stays simple. At first, it feels like a thrill, a dare, but then the house changes. The static deepens into whispers, the television laughs, heavy footsteps echo down empty halls, and the doll, the one you left behind, it's not where you put it anymore.
Sprays after melting it.
Some people
Fucking
say that they've
brilliant.
seen it move. Others claim they've heard
Gracias,
some kind of
Victor.
voice, a low breath against their
Dude,
ear,
this Vaseline
whispering
advice
their
right
name.
now, fucking
And
crazy.
tonight, I'm going to tell you about one girl who actually tried
So
this
brilliant.
game.
I
Her name was
have
Aya. She was just a normal college student.
I
Until
have
one
some
night, she
jasmine
stumbled
essential
across this
oils
ritual online,
and some
and
plumeria
from
essential
that moment
oils
on,
that I'll
her
mix up
life
in there.
was
That'd
never
be
the
hella
same.
those
So Aya
small
lived
hella
quite
good.
an ordinary life. Classes during the day, part-time job in the evenings, and her phone glued to her hand at night.
Well, I also got this
So
mix
one
that
late
smells
night,
like
scrolling through
an old
random
library,
forums, she
except
found
like
a
sweet.
post
I'll probably
titled,
mix it with that too.
"Hikuri Kakurenbo Experience." The doll moved on its own. And at first she laughed. You know, obviously fake, right? But the
David,
deeper
who's Charlie?
she scrolled, the faster her heart started racing. So the posts went like, I stabbed the doll, and then I heard footsteps. I left the doll in the bathroom, but it turned up in my bedroom. Testimony after testimony, all different people, all the same ending. And they say what started
I'm
as a
doing well,
joke
thank you.
always turned into something they couldn't explain. Aya's hands were trembling as she scrolled, but she was so curious she couldn't look away. Could it really be true? What if I tried it myself? That thought stayed in her mind until it became a decision. The next day, she gathered everything she needed: an old stuffed doll, a bag of rice, a needle, and a red thread, a little cup of salt water, and the most unsettling piece, her own hair and clippings of her nails. And as night fell, the doll stopped feeling like a toy. It sat there on her desk, and its black plastic eyes were glinting faintly in the dark, like it was staring at her. With shaking hands, Aya slid the doll open. The cotton came spilling out, and she filled it with rice. Each grain rattled faintly as it slid inside, like tiny bones. With every sound, she felt less like she was preparing a doll, and more like she was building a body. The moment she slipped her own hair and fingernail clippings inside the doll, a chill raced up her spine. It was like ice water crawling along her bones. She thought, this doll, this is another version of me. And that thought alone made her chest tighten, like
Does
the
anybody
air
recognize this?
had grown too heavy to breathe. She threaded the needle with red
Dude,
string.
she's totally
her
just like a
hands
hot Korean
trembling,
Elvira. You're so
and
right.
began to stitch the doll shut. And strangely, with every pull of the thread,
You're Catholic.
she felt like she
Good for you.
heard
I am very, very
noises,
much
like
not that,
tiny
but I
cries,
respect it.
faint and sharp, like
That's a I. I was just wondering if any of you guys played
and
Deadlock.
when it was finally done,
It's not
the
released yet,
doll
but
didn't look the same anymore.
I was just curious.
Just minutes ago, it was just a toy. Now, it felt alive, almost as if the doll were waiting for the night to come. Aya whispered under her breath, "Am I really going to be okay?" But her hands wouldn't let go of the doll. She was already in too deep. That night, the clock crept toward 3 a.m. The lights were out, and the only glow came from the TV in the corner.
Yeah, so it's from a video game called Deadlock. It's not out yet. It's in beta.
Like radio noise filling
It's in
every
alpha.
corner,
No, it's in beta.
making the air feel heavy.
My husband's been playing it
Now
for like
it was
over a
fine.
year, and they
With
just came out with a
shaking
huge
hands,
update. There's like a bunch of
carried the doll
new
into
characters
the
you can play,
She
and it's super
lowered the
sick.
doll
And
into
I
the
can't wait for it to
sink
come
filled
out
with
so everyone
water.
can play it.
The cold
I got him a
ripples
shirt of
lapped
it for
against its body,
our
and its
anniversary in
glassy black
November.
eyes disappeared beneath the surface. And for one horrible second, she felt those eyes were actually following her. And she thought, maybe I'm just being a little too jumpy right now, she thought, and she turned her head quickly, refusing to look. And when the second hand hit exactly 3 a.m., Aya bit her lip and whispered, "The first seeker is Aya." And her voice bounced off the bathroom tiles, and hearing her own name in that silence sent a shiver down her spine. Now, the game has really begun. She went back to the living room, shut her eyes tight, and began counting, lips trembling. 1, 2, 3. And by the time she reached 10, she could feel her heart pounding in her chest. She slowly forced herself back toward the bathroom, hoping it was just a silly game and nothing happened. And then
From relieving roughness to soothing skin, there's before and there's
They heard me say my skin gets dry because it's cold.
Doug.
Imagine if we could tell everyone here that Liberty Mutual customizes
Devices are literally always listening, and there's proof of that now. Terrifying.
Oh, what's this? A fan has run out onto the field and he's not wearing pants.
Folks need pants? Stephen Curry here. See my new movie Go in theaters February 13th.
Cute.
Warriors. And the moment she opened the door, she felt
Man, I'm so
something
pissed the Raiders left
different.
Oakland.
The air wasn't the same. It was suddenly colder and dense. The doll was still submerged in water. Now she had to stab the doll. Aya's hand tightened around the needle she carried.
No
Her
thanks,
voice
Gabe.
cracked
You
as she
are
shouted,
uninvited to this party.
"Tomoka, I found you." The name she had chosen for the doll spilled from her lips, and she stabbed it hard in the stomach. The needle tore through the fabric with a violent rip, spilling grains of rice onto the porcelain sink. But the sound didn't just resemble tearing cloth. To her ears, for some reason,
You
it
know,
was
it's
like
super
a
easy for me to
child's
find out who you are,
muffled
right?
whimper. A faint cry.
Like, do you know that's
echoing
something
in
that people can
small
easily
room.
do?
And in that
Okay.
moment, she regretted what she had done. She shouldn't have started that game. Her blood ran cold. Her heart pounded so hard. Aya dropped the needle, her hand shaking, and forced out the words, trembling. The second seeker is Tomoka. And as soon as she said it, the TV in the living room erupted, static roaring louder than before. The shadows in the hallway seemed to twist, like the house itself was moving. Aya panicked. Maybe she was just going crazy. Maybe she was losing her mind. Aya was now terrified. She grabbed the cup of salt water and bolted. And salt water, that was her last protection. The one thing that could ward off spirits. And when it came time to end the game, she had to spit it over the doll. And that was the only way to make it stop. Aya kept the salt water pressed in her mouth, just like the ritual demanded. But no matter how tightly she clung to that last line of defense, the terror didn't ease up. And in that moment, she heard a noise. She forced herself not to look back, but she could clearly hear it. It was the soft sound of footsteps, slow, heavy, something dragging across the floor, and this sound was getting closer, as if it were following right behind her. Something was really wrong. She darted into her room, slammed the door shut, and locked it. Then she crawled under her bed, curling herself into the shadows,
Mothra. Are you still
holding her
really high?
breath. And her lips stung with the bitter taste of salt water. But after a few
Mothra.
moments, it didn't even taste like salt.
Are you really
anymore.
high still?
It was metallic, sour,
Yeah.
like blood.
I had to give her gabapentin
Heart
to trim her
pounded
nails
so
earlier,
loud, she
and now
pressed her
she's like
hands
drunk
over
as
her
fuck.
chest as if she could muffle
You
the
good?
sound. What the hell was actually happening?
There's a little
And
food in
then the sound came again.
your fur there.
The footsteps out in the hallway.
That cat
Those
is 5.5
slow
pounds.
footsteps.
Not even
It
kidding.
didn't sound like human footsteps. It sounded like something heavier, stickier, slapping against the floor as it moved closer. And now the TV changed too. The static wasn't just static anymore. There was a laugh
Barely
buried
made it.
inside it, a low, breathy laugh. And at first she thought
There you
it
go,
was
babe.
in
Sit on
her
the
head.
heater.
Her fear was suddenly making her hear strange sounds. But whatever it was, the sound got clearer,
Shit.
sharper.
This shirt said
until it sounded like it was
Uzumaki in like the
right
tag
outside
spot.
her door.
And so I thought it was going to be one of my Naruto shirts, but it's like the Junji Ito Uzumaki.
It was high-pitched, like a child, both at once.
Have you guys seen this
twisting
one?
together.
Have you read it?
And then the doorknob rattled. Click, 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 click. Aya's entire body
They made a
froze.
live action
The
of
metal
it
shook so fast as if someone was
in
twisting and trying
2000,
to get in.
2002, somewhere around there.
The door
It is really good.
creaked,
It's so
just a
freaky. I highly
fraction
recommend it.
inch,
It's on
enough to
Shudder
make
and it might be on
every hair
Crunchyroll
her
too.
body stand on end. She clenched her jaw, desperate not to spill the salt water. She couldn't make a sound. She couldn't even breathe. Then, from inside the room, click, the light switch. The light bulb above her flared with a cold blue light, flooding the room. And for 1 second, she could see everything. And then it was suddenly off, complete darkness. And in that darkness, she heard a sound. Scrape, scrape, scrape.
Thanks, Jay.
Something crawling. Not
Or are
on
you talking
hands
about
and knees. It was
Megan May,
dragging
because she's also very
someone's
cute.
stomach, pulling across the floor.
She's like, I feel like she's
The sound drew closer.
she's beautiful and elegant.
Right up to the bed.
Not
Aya
cute,
covered her
though.
mouth with both hands
She can be
under her
cute.
bed, choking back the urge to scream. And then she saw something coming down and crawling toward her. It looked like a hand, a white hand, fingers long and sharp, almost claw-like. And this hand was feeling its way blindly across the floor, reaching for her. Her heart hammered so violently she thought her chest would explode.
Moved my leg for too
The TV in the
Owie.
living room roared to life, a woman's voice shrieking through the static. Aya squeezed her eyes shut, every muscle.
Are you okay?
The air turned icy,
Mothra.
heavy, pressing down on her chest. She
Are
couldn't
you
move.
okay?
She couldn't breathe. All she could do was pray that the salt water.
I feel so sad when she's so fucked up like that.
Idea how much time had passed.
Like, what a nightmare to be a non-human being and, like,
Sometimes it takes a
have your mom drug you
all around you.
and then manhandle you, and then you have to be fucked up the rest of the day.
Quality education on your terms.
Journey to South Korea, use my platform. Yeah. Yeah, she's cool as hell. Hey, Strawberry. I gotta pee and get some water. I'll be right back.
Are infused with 2 times more essential. The advanced
Hello. Sure. You want me to help you with your groceries?
What is this? Emotional manipulation.
But the salt water in her mouth was
You guys can enjoy.
burning
I'll be
foul,
right back.
metallic and bitter. It was almost unbearable. Her throat felt dry and cracked like dirt baking in the sun. Then again, thud, thud, the sound of footsteps came back from the living room. The sound was coming closer again until they stopped right outside her door. The doorknob slowly moved. The hinges creaked. She thought she locked the door. She did. But now the door was opening. And the door didn't swing open quickly. It slid forward inch by inch, as though something unseen was slowly pushing it. Aya froze. She dared not breathe. The footsteps were gone, but in their place came something worse, a damp, sour smell creeping into the room. And in the thin slice of light coming through the now open door, she saw it, a shadow drifting past. Her body wanted to scream, but her instincts forced her to stay still. Aya bit her lip and slowly moved her head to peek out. Then she saw it. Out in the living room, there was the doll. It was sitting upright on the table, perfectly dry, as if it had never been submerged in water. The very same doll she had drowned in the bathroom sink. And now its belly, stitched together with red thread, was splitting open, grains of rice spilling across the table and onto the floor. And then its head moved slowly until its button eyes were staring directly toward the bedroom door, toward her. Even in the pitch black, those eyes gleamed like it had really found her. And from the TV came a voice, low and sharp, echoing through the static. Nadia, it's your turn. Her stomach lurched. She swallowed hard, the salt water sloshing in her mouth, ready to spill. She crawled backward, deeper under the bed, but there was nowhere else to go. She felt like the doll's gaze was burning into her. And in that moment, she thought, I have to end this game. Tears stinging her eyes. If I don't, I'm going to die here. With legs trembling so hard they barely held her weight, Aya crawled out from beneath the bed. Her whole body shook so violently she could hardly stand. Every step crunched on
Sorry
scattered
about that. I am
rice
back.
grains. The sound exploding in her ears.
Actually,
like
very warm.
bones
So
breaking.
I am going to get
Now
off
she
camera
staggered
to
the
change my
doorway.
clothes.
The
Don't
second
be
she got out
fucking
of
weird
her
about it.
room, a blast of cold air slapped her face.
Oh, that's very
the
kind of
living
you.
room stretched before her, drenched in shadows. And there it was, the doll, The doll was sitting in the faint glow of the flickering TV. Its stomach stitches were half undone now, loose red threads dangling like veins. Its button eyes
Gracie,
weren't just
come on.
reflecting light anymore. They were
Well, come on.
glowing, alive. And
Gracie
Aya's
cat,
mouth
get in here.
filled to the brim with salt water. Her throat
Good
bulged,
girl.
her lips shaking. Now, she
Here you
thought,
go, baby.
now,
Can you
or
get
it's
up right
over.
here?
She had to end the game right now. She forced her legs forward, one trembling step after another, toward the table, toward the doll that was no longer a toy. Aya forced herself forward, stumbling, dragging her body closer to the doll. And then, crash! The picture frame on the wall rattled and fell, exploding into shards across the floor. The sharp sound echoed through the room, fragments scattering at her feet. Aya flinched hard, her whole body jerking back. On the TV screen, something dark flickered, a shadow darting across the static. And then, clear as a whisper in her ear, it still returned. Her breath caught in her throat. She almost screamed, almost spat the salt water out too soon. Her knees buckled. She felt like she was about to collapse. But somehow, she pushed forward. And now the doll was waiting, sitting perfectly upright on the table, head tilted slightly, almost curious. Its button eyes still locked on hers.
What are
And
you
at this
doing,
point, she was
Gracie?
about to faint. She couldn't breathe. Her lips trembled, but she forced the words
Is
out.
this laundry
Her
to your
voice
liking?
shaking so
Is it good
violently
enough?
it barely sounded like her own. I win, I win, I win, she said it again and again, 3 times. Then, in one desperate rush, she spat the salt water across the doll. The water splashed over its head and stomach, soaking the red torn stitches.
Excuse me, I need to
Instant
sit
the
there.
droplets hit. It was like the
Gracie,
air
move.
suddenly shifted.
Excuse me.
That suffocating pressure
Excuse me.
just vanished. The heavy
Thank
dampness
you.
lifted, rushing out like smoke. The TV blinked black, and then silence swallowed the house again. Aya collapsed, gasping for air. She was alive. She was now free. And then everything went black. She had fainted. And she had no idea how many hours passed, but when she opened her eyes, morning light was streaming in. And for a moment she wondered, was it all just a dream? Yet her fingertips were still icy cold. And no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't shake the memory of those eyes. Those dark, eyes that stared straight into her soul.
Gracie,
That
did you
night
find a
on,
good spot?
Aya never let the lights go out at 3 a.m. again.
Such
She
a
avoided
queen.
dolls, she avoided shadows, she avoided anything that reminded her of that game. Because sometimes, late at night, she still heard a voice, low, right against her ear. Aya, it's your turn.
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual!
Is this the YouTube version? I'm not sure what that means, my dear.
Wow, you have us off his hands.
Oh my god, super gay.
Can someone please pass the tongue?
Sam, I got you. This one's going long. Somebody, catch! Friends don't let friends live with hardwood. Pass the Tums and Grinders at Target.
A Chewy order.
Don't
is
worry,
on the way
Grace.
from
You're not in the
Jaws,
way or anything.
who never lets go of what he loves. At least not until Dad gets on Chewy. He gets him something new to love. Delivered fast. So Jaws can always live his best life. One mouthful at a time. For low prices and fast shipping, for life with pets, there's Chewy.
So what do you think? Aya thought she was playing a game, but the second she started the ritual, it wasn't a game anymore. The doll became her double and something else, something she
Cinderella?
never invited,
What?
slipped inside. So what exactly happened that night? Was Aya really hunted by her doll, or was it all just in her head? Some believe Hitori Kakuen was
Oh, I
nothing
forgot.
less
I have a
than
mushroom stick and
necromancy,
poke on my
by
leg
cutting
too.
the doll open, filling it with rice,
Hello.
and sealing it with your own DNA, you're creating a body for the dead to inhabit. Which means now you're not just playing hide and seek, you're inviting a spirit in, and you have no idea which one will answer. Others point to Japan's older curse rituals like Uji no Tokimairi, where people nailed straw dolls to shrines to harm their enemies. Only this time, the curse is turned inward. The doll isn't just anyone, it's you, a twisted reflection that might turn against its creator. And then there are the rules. Don't break the sequence, don't turn on the lights, don't leave the house, because once you've started, you've signed a contract. And if you fail to end it properly, you may never truly shut the door on what you've let in. And of course, some say it's just all in the mind. Sleep deprivation, suggestion, and the power of belief. You sit in the dark at 3 a.m., waiting, listening, and suddenly every creak of the house becomes footsteps. Every flicker of the
My
TV
D&D
becomes a signal from the other side. So maybe the
Clickety
rituals
clackety, I
never
rolled to
like a
attack and
self-fulfilling
With a Gracie
haunting.
cat on it.
The people all over Japan
Me too.
have claimed the same things.
You
TVs
like it?
turning on by themselves, strange footsteps.
Spilled nail polish on
echoing
it.
through
Literally
empty
10 seconds
houses,
after I opened it.
laughter where no one's there. You could call it hallucination, maybe just the
I
mind playing
can't have nice
tricks.
things.
But the stories always sound the same, and that's what makes it terrifying. Why do so many people from different places tell the same story? Whether you believe it's a real ritual or just the mind playing tricks, one
Dude,
thing is
people who
certain.
play with
Once
Ouija
you
boards but
play,
don't know what they're doing
you
piss me
will
off
never
so
forget
much.
it. And
Actually,
maybe, we don't know,
one of my
but the
videos,
whispers
more
I
recent
heard
ones,
are
is
right.
about
Maybe
like the
opens a
Ouija
door
board,
that was never
where it
meant to
came
be
from,
opened.
and like its whole deal.
So, if you're curious, and if you're thinking of trying it for yourself, you have to remember this. This game is not just a midnight dare. And even if you end it the right way, the doll might not let you go. I hate dolls so much. Creepy things. And that is all for tonight's spooky story. Hope you guys liked it. And now, have a good night's sleep, turn off the lights, or maybe don't. Sweet dreams and good night, beauties. Bye-bye.
Good night, Megan. I love you.
Yeah, dude. I remember when when Toys R Us was still like a physical place, they would just sell them in the board game aisle. Like they still just sell them wherever you buy board games. Isn't that fucking nuts?
Dear viewer, the town is abuzz with the fragrances and
Shut up,
textures.
Target. You donate to anti-LGBTQ plus organizations. Alright. Which one should we do now? Oh, that's a weird one. Oh, I haven't watched this one yet.
I might be like kind of quiet for this one because I haven't seen it yet.
Hey bees and bees, welcome back to the show. So, have you ever walked alone down a dark road at night? A night so quiet
Like
and
I
dark
remember getting
that
like
even the smallest
Pokemon
footstep
Silver
echoes clearly in your ears.
at Toys R Us in like the Game Boy
Streetlights
section.
flicker overhead, casting long shadows.
Actually, I
that
remember
seem
getting
to
Pokemon
move
Emerald there
on their
too,
own. The
and
wind whispers
actually and Blue
through
and
the
Red.
trees, carrying sounds that could be anything.
I got a Game Boy Color around here somewhere.
Anyone. In that moment, what if something appeared behind you, chasing you? And what if it had a grotesque form that could hardly be imagined as a living person? A torso with no legs, dragging itself toward you at impossible speeds, its fingernails scraping against the concrete like claws. The story I'm about to tell you is not just a ghost story. It is one of Japan's most terrifying and persistent urban legends, a tale that has haunted the nation for over 50 years, spawning movies, manga, and countless sleepless nights. This is the legend of Teke Teke.
Horrifying.
Okay, when I say purple, what comes to your mind first?
Your fucking
Bacon,
chair.
because I'm obsessed with purple. So when I found a skincare line where everything is purple, I was already emotionally invested. After your 30s,
Can't afford to buy any more of the things you talk about.
monster came from, let me first tell you about the encounter that traumatized an entire generation of Japanese children. A story from the famous 1990s manga, Hell Teacher Nube, that became the definitive Teke Teke encounter in popular culture. In 1993, a manga called Hell Teacher Nube began serialization in Weekly Shonen Jump, one of Japan's most popular manga magazines. The series followed a supernatural teacher who protected his students from ghosts and demons. In chapter 17, titled The Tale of Teke Teke, the manga introduced its readers to a horror they would never forget. And the story goes like this. It was an ordinary day at Tomori Elementary School. During lunch break, a group of students huddled together, sharing scary stories. Have you guys heard about Teke Teke? One student whispered. What's that? It's the ghost of a girl who was cut in half by a train. She has no legs, just her upper body. She drags herself along the ground using her arms. And when she moves,
does that even mean?
she makes this horrible sound. Teke, teke, teke. The students shivered, but one boy, always the skeptic, laughed dismissively. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, he said. A ghost with no legs that chases people? How would that even work? You guys are idiots for believing this stuff. His friends tried to warn him, don't say that. They say, if you hear the story and don't believe it, Teke Teke will come for you within 3 days. Whatever, the boy scoffed. It's just a dumb story.
Come on, you guys, help me get enough view hours so that YouTube will pay me so I can just have a YouTube account where there aren't commercials.
Enough. New Recharge by Vimergy. With CoQ10 and vitamins D3 and K2, our fast-absorbing formula strengthens and energizes you from the core. No quick fixes necessary. Vimergy. We can save ourselves at Vimergy.com.
Customize and save with liberty. The important thing is we stay calm. Only pay for what you need.
Winter outfitting is easy with endless styles at Kohl's. Mixed brands are the perfect athleisure look. Matching sets give you versatility.
I also used to shop at Kohl's a lot.
He
Another
walked away,
physical
leaving his
location.
frightened classmates behind. 3 days passed. The boy had almost forgotten about the silly ghost story. It was late evening, and he was walking home alone after staying late at school. The sun had set, and the streets were empty. His path took him past the old railroad crossing, a shortcut he had taken hundreds of times before. As he approached the tracks, he noticed how quiet everything seemed. No cars, no people, just the distant
Hi,
hum
Victor.
of the power lines overhead. Then he heard a sound.
Myers, dope.
Teke,
Glad you found me.
teke, teke. He stopped. The sound was faint at first, like fingernails tapping against
TJ
concrete.
Maxx, yeah, dude, I haven't been in there in,
Was
I
getting
think, 8
closer.
years.
Teke, teke, teke. Who's there? He called out, his voice shakier than he intended. No answer, Just that sound.
Oh, sick,
growing
dude.
louder.
Myers, I have
Tick, tick, tick.
ADHD and
The
a
boy turned around.
touch of the tism as
What
well,
he
so
saw made his
happy to
blood
have you on here.
freeze
Welcome.
in his veins. Under the flickering street light, something was crawling toward him at this
Yeah, the candles are
impossible
fucking
speed.
hype at
It
TJ
was a
Maxx.
girl, or what was left of one. She had long black hair that dragged along the ground, and a face twisted into a terrible smile. But below her waist, there was nothing. Just
Fuck.
ragged flesh and exposed spine.
Monagal.
She was pulling herself forward with her arms, her
Filipino one?
elbows and hands scraping against the asphalt, moving faster than any human could
No,
run.
this is in
And she
Japan.
was coming straight for him. The boy tried to run, but his legs wouldn't move. He was paralyzed with fear. This creature closed the distance in seconds.